Many people think people in prison are just dummies, that we're a lost cause, criminals and felons, but little do they know, many of us are intelligent. Sometimes we use that intelligence for good, sometimes we use it for bad. But you're not here for that. You're here to find out how I stole $11 million from inside my maximum security prison cell. You know, I should charge you for the story, charge you for the game. You know what they say. The game is to be sold, not told, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. My name is Arthur Lee Cofield. I'm one of the greatest that ever did it. Georgia prison system, this is my house, where everything has a price. With 14 years to serve, no one could possibly think that I was going to sit on my bunk and do nothing. On many occasions, my mind would race on plans of how I could get rich quick. I was tired of the prison hustle, tired of flipping Suboxone, selling tobacco, selling weed, flipping phones for a couple of dollars. That shit was below me. I was ready for bigger things. And I knew I had nothing to lose, so why not devise a plan? If it worked out, great. If it didn't, then I lose nothing. A plan that if I told you before I did it, you might have laughed. But for the moment, I too was laughing when I thought about it. In fact, I couldn't believe it myself. Of course, I needed help from a lot of different angles. I had to have the cop bring in a few phones. See, I've been doing this shit my whole bed. Been caught at least a dozen times with contraband. Sometimes I could buy the shit right back. One cop would take it, the next cop would sell it back. You would be surprised what you could buy in a place like this. What's for sale here behind the concrete, cold and steel? For a couple of dollars, you could buy anything. Street food, pizza, drugs, female staff. They even take off their clothes for dollars. Male staff, if that's what you're into. We are in Atlanta. Cell phones, you name it, we can get it. That first phone they brought was my $11 million ticket, but they didn't know. If only he knew, the price might have been higher. Big dreams for big houses, big cars, big money. And living my best life when that metal slammed behind me, when that release date hit. They were all dreams. Dreams that I could only achieve if I put things in motion. And that's what I did. You see, I'd lay in my cell at night in my bunk. I'd scroll through YouTube. I'd catch some of them prison shows like Blood on the Razor Wire TV, 1090 Jake, Jay Williams. And other times I'd scroll through and I'd check out all these rich people. I'd check out all these movies. And then I came across this dude on Wikipedia. His name was Sidney Kimmel. He was 94 years old with plenty of money. And then I started to think I could become him and steal. I thought I could rob him, rob his friends. Something had to happen. But I needed a few more players for me to pull this lick off. I got my people Eldridge Bennett and his daughter on board and set the plan in motion. Of course, I already knew what we needed. Research, baby, research. I would need a copy of his driver's license and a utility bill. Not always hard to get when you're good with technology. Sometimes you can create your own documents. Sometimes you can make your own driver's license. And we made it happen. Today was the big day, the day I would become 94 years old just for the moment. Them dudes out there think they're doing white-collar crime? Are you crazy? I'm doing it from inside this prison cell on a whole new level. I picked up my cell phone from the quiet confines of my cell. Breathed a heavy breath and dialed the number. My fingers were a little jittery, for I was about to pull off the biggest heist in history from a prison cell with a contraband cell phone. I dialed the Charles Schwab Corporation and became billionaire Sidney for the moment. The company representative requested a picture of Kimmel's driver's license and the utility bill in his name, just like I knew they would. Checkmark. It had all been worked out before I dialed the number. I knew what they would want. Now, I'm not that old white dude MacGyver that can build things and make things, but I'll tell you what, I was definitely one of the best con men in jail prison guard. I laid the Mac down and before long persuaded the powers that be to transfer $11 million from Kimmel's bank account to a precious metals dealer in Idaho. Now, the scheme did not just happen overnight. It took time and planning. The plan was in action. Kimmel, well, really me, had just purchased 6,106 American Eagle gold coins. Big money, big dreams. Here I come. You could say it was big art at work, but the real Kimmel was looking out on the payment, unbeknownst to him. Once that thing processed, I smiled from inside. My palms were clammy. My forehead started to sweat. Even I was starting to think how dumb all these people were. All these people that are in control of all these assets for all these rich people. They just let me trick their ass for $11 million. To be honest, I couldn't believe what I had just done. Excitement ran through my veins like a fish in the sea. that fast, I was finally rich. But I had to make sure the coins were secure in order for me to really feel like I had finally made it. Once again, I used that $11 million cell phone and hired a private security firm to take the coins from Boise, Idaho to Atlanta. And they took them on a chartered plane. Why not? It wasn't coming out of my pocket. Sitting in my prison cell, I had went through magazines looking at expensive homes and all the finer things in life. You've seen them before. Remember them DuPont magazines? With money and coins in my possession, or my people's possession, I figured I should start living like a king. Well, at least have it set up for when I walked out of prison. I had my eyes where all them rich folks lived. One of Atlanta's wealthiest neighborhoods was calling my name. Randall Mill Road, home to sprawling mansions set atop green hills. A place that I knew about, a place that I had never visited, a place that I dreamed of. Why shouldn't I live here? MTV Cribs, not there yet, but I was looking for something nice, and I finally found it. It was a 6-bedroom house on 1.4 wooded acres in Atlanta. They were charging $4.4 million. $720,000 for a down payment in cash. I had my people count it out. Like a counting machine. Not long after, I completed the payment all in cash once again. What do you think those people thought when they seen that cash? $1.4 million? Nothing to spend when you steal it, right? Not once did I ever think about the consequences, nor did I think about getting caught. Why would I? I was in prison. How could I ever do this? If they ever grab me, like, man, I don't know what you're talking about. Crazy as hell. I've been in jail. Never thought about the feds or how these people might realize that so much money was missing. When you're a billionaire like my boy Kimmel, the man behind those movies like Crazy Rich Asians, The Kite Runner, and Moneyball, a couple million is like a couple $100 bills to a dude getting money in the hood. Never really miss it. I was living my best life from a prison cell. Sometimes I would lay in my bed and dream of all the things I would do when I get out. I would count my money in my head. Damn, I had so much of it now. I had no reason to plot on any other schemes at the moment. I had finally did it. Please call me Mr. Cofield. On June 10th, 2020, I had just got done eating my little prison meal I had put together. It was about 5:30 p.m. as I started to drift off into one of my usual daydreams about a better life when I heard banging on my door. For the moment, I was out in the ocean, flying on a jet ski, living that best life you could ever dream of. And then I called out, "What's up? Mr. Cofield, come to the door, sir." Damn it, man. I looked out the window in the door, and for some reason, I knew this was not just a random search. They were on my ass. They might have found out about Kimmel. There was nothing I could really do at the end of the day. When they come like this, I had no wins. They were here to get me, and I was not in a position to lose my phones, but I knew it was coming. Cell LE-202, it had been my office, my place that I was able to put this thing together. It was also my home, the place I ate and slept, and now they were all here to take what was mine. I guess to take it all back, all my ill-gotten gains. They found my black Samsung cell phone charger, another phone, my earbuds. I tried to hide the blue Samsung under my right armpit, but they caught the move. Both phones gone, and now what was about to happen is something I never thought of when I was making power moves. Or moves that I thought were power moves. But they weren't power moves at all. Before long, they had my ass in federal court. I see they play a much different game than the courts here in Atlanta. They charged me with 7 counts of bank fraud and money laundering. The feds searched the phones and found everything I had done. Nothing nice. And they played vicious games. Vicious games. They put pressure on the state to charge me with putting a hit out on someone with the phone. They said I made a call. And in the end, someone was shot. I'm not saying it's true, but these are the games they play. My get-rich-quick scheme definitely worked for the moment, but not for the long run. This is it for me. Concrete and steel for many more years. We're gearing up for trial. Don't know if they're going to offer a plea. Don't know what I'm going to do. Don't know what I'll do in the state on the shooting. But all I know is that this is what they're doing. This is it. All the big dreams, all over. All my dreams shattered like broken glass. Instead of going home in a few short years, I will likely spend at least another 20 years in a prison cell, in the feds or in the state. They got my name, they got my game. That's how I stole $11 million. But in the end, was it really worth it? Not really. It was all for nothing. And if you like this, check out Blood on the Razor Wire TV. With respect, until tomorrow, we're out. you.